My Premier League predictions were shocking in more ways than one. So, of course, when you start the production on a video like this, you have to look at your predictions from the start of the season. And my immediate reaction was, oh God, I've got it so wrong. Here are the predictions on the left-hand side of your screen from the start of the season. Yes, and on the right, this is how the table ended up. Now, you'll notice that top and bottom we got spot on, so can we finish the video here, please? Please let me finish the video here. So a quick mention to Manchester City. Over 38 games, you were the best team in the league. Congratulations on winning another Premier League title. Obviously, Pep Guardiola is super talented as a coach, and he's done it once again. He's got a super squad, loads of depth. Looked like they were going to do a big ball at the end, but managed to figure themselves out at home against Villa. I'm not happy that they won the league, of course, being a United fan, but I am relieved knowing that Liverpool did not have a chance of completing a quadruple. I thought Chelsea and Manchester United's summer transfers were really impressive, and they would fit right in between Manchester City and Liverpool. How wrong was I? We can point to Romelu Lukaku not working out for Chelsea. I kind of envisaged that happening, but I thought it was going to be an improvement to Timo Werner. I don't really know if you can blame Chelsea, to be honest, because of all the off-field antics that have been going on with their previous owner. The second part of the season has kind of just felt like a circus, and I'm sure some of the players have been a little bit distracted by all of that. Manchester United didn't have them distractions, and they are a sad excuse of a football team right now. From top, the ownership simply haven't done enough with the money acquired at that football club. They've taken a lot of money out of it. People say, oh, look how much Manchester United spend. Yes, but look how much Manchester United earn. Honestly, it should never have got this bad, and the decisions still have questions today. Erik ten Hag, he doesn't know what Ralph Rangnick's consultancy role is next season. He says, ask the club. What the f*** is going on? I could ask the same question about the playing staff. Some are falling into horrifically bad form, and others just don't seem like they care at all. And good riddance to them players. But then it seeps down all the way to like the fan base. People that feel almost entitled to win trophies. Being racist and abusive to players that might not have even been the worst culprits. What kind of message are you sending the players there? What kind of motivation will they have to fight for the shirt if you're sending out abusive messages like that? Grow up. The whole thing's a mess. It needs a big press of the reset button. You know, delete club in Ultimate Team? Press it! Press it now! One more thing. Like, you've got people on Twitter that blast the fans for supporting players, for being positive, to try and forget about certain performances and that. That's what a supporter's supposed to be. You're supposed to support the players. You're supposed to support the team. If you want to boo the players constantly, just support Real Madrid. They boo them all the time at the Bernabeu. Do it. No one's going to judge you. In fact, we'll be happy that you're gone. Rant over. Fourth place, I chose Liverpool, which, of course, was a big mistake. I think I'd already made it very clear that I thought Jurgen Klopp was the best coach in the league. And he's once again proven that. Because their transfer business in the summer was a little bit underwhelming. They had players going out on the AFCON, and I just thought, like, a culmination that they wouldn't have enough for a title challenge. But of course they did. They had way more. They tried to go for all 4 trophies, which is remarkable. The January signing of Luis Diaz was super important, really well timed, and he's absolutely fabulous. I really did want Klopp as Man United manager after his stint at Dortmund. Of course, he had a year's break, but just looking back at that time, it just fills me with more and more disappointment that that wasn't the call. Liverpool was his destiny, and let's hope it's not his entire career going forward, because God help us all. What we saw with the season prior is Liverpool derailing because of a serious injury to Virgil van Dijk. Now, they don't have the squad depth of City, and I didn't think they stood a chance of keeping everybody fit or fit enough to really go after City, but they did, and they strengthened. Things were answered. They're going to be really, really difficult to handle next season, I think. Scary times. Fifth, I put Leicester City, and I don't think anyone can, laugh at that one. Leicester City, obviously on a major high, but I think that's kind of like died down now. Is it only me who thinks that magic surrounding the club has finally come to an end? Yeah, Tottenham fans are going to kill me because I did have them finishing below Arsenal. I never expected you to hire Antonio Conte. He's a brilliant manager. He's got you up into fourth. Son has had just the most wonderful season. And Arsenal bottling it again. Good work, Arsenal. I bet your fans are really, really happy at the fact that you simply can't keep your end of the deal. There were some folks on Twitter that just questioned why I wouldn't want Conte coming to Manchester United. Am I stupid for not wanting Conte to come to Manchester United? I knew that he was a great manager, but he moves around the places so much. What Manchester United need right now is foundations, and foundations that they might get with Erik ten Hag. Foundations that they didn't get with Ralf Rangnick. The players packed in. They went on holiday in fucking November. That team finished so poorly and yet was still in kind of the hunt for the top four until like the last 4 games. Honestly, if you keep Ollie around, you get Champions League football, lads. Bizarre. 8th place West Ham in my predictions. 1 place higher in 7th. I mean, a fantastic squad of players David Moyes has assembled. And that's simply what happens on team spirits. They've had a fantastic season, even going to the semi-finals of the Europa League. For me, in terms of just league positioning, outside of the Manchester United debacle, Villa have been the most disappointing team. Good transfers in the summer, and it just didn't really go. Of course, they got Steven Gerrard now and Coutinho. They'll probably get to the heights of 9th next season, but 14th is not good enough, and it probably needed a change at that football club. Leeds United. So Bielsa is gone. He just couldn't get the same kind of performance out of the team, or they got a little bit figured out, and they almost got relegated as a result. So 7 places down from where I predicted them. When teams get figured out, you've seen it with Sheffield United. There's a massive slump in their points. There's a massive slump in their position. Everton was a bit of a shock. There are a few things that are completely out of control of the players. The ownership sounds like an absolute farce. It's just time to move on. I mean, it doesn't help when Ancelotti gets headhunted by Real Madrid and your kind of pre-season plans are all up in the air. You're not gonna lie, I just had to check who was the manager before Frank Lampard, and of course it was Rafa Benitez. That was a forgettable stint, wasn't it? Just move on, Everton fans. It wasn't a good season, but I'm glad that you're still around. The Premier League wouldn't be the same without Everton. Benitez is 62 at the moment, so in a couple of years' time, he might release an autobiography where he said, "Nah, I genuinely wanted Everton to get relegated. It was Operation Sink Everton." I think that was cursed from the start, wasn't it? Brighton, I thought were going to reach the heady heights of 12th. They've done so much better than that. I say that Graham Potter is a great coach. 9th place. 9th place, Brighton. 9th. With the money that they've spent, 9th. Why did he not get the shout from Manchester United in November to just test him out? This guy's obviously going places. And it couldn't be clearer to me, witnessing it at the Amex, Man United just getting decimated by this team that were working for the manager. Coherent. I can't see Brighton getting relegated whilst Graham Potter is in the job. Moving on to Wolves, they finished 10th. I got them at 13th. Not really surprised about where they finished. I thought the departures coming into this season would have impacted a little bit more, but obviously not. And the change of goalkeeper hasn't really affected them at all because Sarr is a quality goalie. Burnley in 14th in my predictions, got relegated on the final day. So long a Brexit Bull and a surprising managerial casualty in Sean Dyche. What were they thinking? There was a moment with a few games to go where their weird decision to get rid of the manager almost paid off, but I'm glad it didn't. Not because I dislike Burnley. I don't mind Burnley. I like different footballing styles. I'm glad that they've gone down because it shows other owners to just back managers, trust managers, don't do something silly. We'll get onto Watford in a second. But first off, talking about Crystal Palace, who I predicted in 15th, they actually finished 12th. I don't think anyone would have expected the impact Conor Gallagher's had to that team, or the difference in playing style that Vieira has managed to muster up in this squad in comparison to Roy Hodgson last season. It's quite a good job. Like, it would be a B+ in my mind if I was grading them all. Ralph Rangnick would be suspended from the school. So 16th place, Watford. This is a bad call by myself. Just because I could see inside the football club due to the Ben Foster vlogs, they are good spirit, coming up from the Championship. They've got a couple of sprinkles of magic in there with Pedro and Sarr, but it's just not enough because they're lacking in so many other departments that for some reason I ignored. This is simply a bad prediction and there's no excuse for it. Doesn't help Watford when they have owners that flip managers every 2 seconds. Them players don't have a clue what's really going on. Something that I do have an excuse for is 17th place, Newcastle United. Anyone who's put Newcastle United that low down in the table do have this excuse because they got taken over and now are the richest club in the world. Is that correct? They've got Eddie Howe managing them. Obviously, he's got credentials. What a job he's done with Joe Linton. Once Mike Ashley was removed from that club, the fans' attitude towards games, the passion that they showed, they probably made 6-7 points themselves. See, I didn't have the bottle to say that they were going to get relegated. If they had the situation from the start of the season all the way through this year, they might have got relegated. But actually, I had Southampton in 18th. You can see why, but Ralph Hasenhüttl just managed to squeeze enough out of that Southampton side to avoid some kind of relegation panic. Maybe it's time for Southampton to go a different direction. I can't be the only one thinking that they're dicing with death here. Your manager needs help. He needs resources. It's not like the resources aren't there. We know how much the Premier League pays each club. Give your boys some money or enjoy the Championship eventually. Out of the 3 teams promoted, I thought one was going to stay up. Stupidly, I put that as Watford, when we knew from the start that Brentford was an incredibly competent club, ran really well. Even so, I'd still have put them about 16th. They've gone and finished 13th. What a season. Welcome to the Premier League. And they do offer a slightly different playing style. I've enjoyed having them around and I'm glad that they are staying around. I'm sorry that I put you in 19th. That's a bad call from myself. And Norwich City, the final one, 20th place. Oh, that was gonna happen, wasn't it? See you in 2 years, I guess. Top half is decent. Bottom half crumbles apart. I thought this is gonna be a very high score. My last season score was 64. Somehow, this has ended up at 62. And last season, when I looked at it, I was like, I've not done too bad. This season, I look at it and go, I've done horrific. But the score says otherwise. It is an improvement. I've done okay. Looking at the 2 seasons, though, I think this season was a bit easier to predict. So only going down by 2 points is a bit of a disappointment. It is a disappointment. I don't like how the bottom of that table looks. And when you go and watch the rest of the predictions of other YouTubers, I don't think I'll fare well. For now, I'm going to take the positive that we have gone down in the points. We'll try and improve season on season. Another positive is that I got 2 teams spot on this season. I only got 1 team spot on last season. I think that was Tottenham in 7th. So this has been Cutsy. Thank you ever so much for watching me rant about Manchester United season a little bit. You guys take care. If you've enjoyed the video, obviously give it a like. Tell me how I've done in the comments section and why I'm an absolute disgrace to football fans. Bye-bye.